Okay. Okay, morning guys. Or good afternoon. I'm watching WHR Whirlpool. This is what I see. It's kind of linear right here, but it did show up on my counter trend right here on my trade ideas, and it's because most likely of the 15s. If you look at this right here, it did. If you notice, it is a breakout. So it went down. Let me just show you the 1 minute. It did this crazy move in the morning, and then it just went, it's linear, and it broke out from the highs right here. So that's kind of a good thing, but what's really good that I see about this is this right here. This is the daily, and let me just zoom in closer. Get even closer. It's at that spot. You can draw a definitive line right here. Here, touching here. It kind of... Can you see that line that it's creating? Touches here, here. A little bit under here. Touches here. This high is 156.64, and we're at a high of 156.50. So if it hits 64 or passes it, then I would anticipate it to come back. I wish for a parabolic move though. And of course, if you look at a study here, say we're looking at the VWAP, it's near the top of the band. And it's coming back right now, but I'm hoping, kind of hoping that it doesn't. I want some more. And here's the 5 minute. Let's see the rubber band. It can go down to 155.75, but do you see how it's kind of still not fully stretched out like this one right here and bouncing back? But it has the potential. That's why I'm on right now. So honestly, at the moment it's still kind of sketchy, but I'm hoping that it actually becomes a little bit more irrational. Let's see. Here's the 5 minute. I like to bunch up my candles so I can see a better line. But yeah, let's go a little bit higher, at least to 64, based on the... This one was 156.64. At least it's still, I mean, visually it's close enough. And it did. It hit 156.64 now, didn't it? Yeah, it did. Yeah, what's going on, Cricket? Yeah, it is a super slow day. I wish I slept in, since there's nothing, but I'm up right now because the dog I'm working with is a handful. 110-pound Labrador won't let me sleep. So I'm up and he's sleeping. I'm not. Can't trust him to be by himself, and he's not crate trainable at the moment. But you know, it's all fun. So I'm gonna post the link on the Discord app Generally, I always post everything on the Discord. Like right here, I already posted that I'm watching WHR, this newbie trading. It should be in the description below. This is Jeremy Newbie's site. He posts some really good stuff right now. He's in UAL, and that one went really well. Yeah, he already sold a few. He still has a few hundred shares in there. I'll just post this right here just to let everyone know that I'm watching it. And there's the slight parabolic move that I'm looking for right here. You guys see that? How just popping up, trying to approach that 157 mark. Now we have a compounded catalyst, right? We have more reasons to believe that it's going to. Look at that move right here. And it did. It hit 157 now. Now, a trade like this, you have to be careful because there's right now there was a 12-cent spread. So we just want it to keep going. Just be as irrational as possible. Then you're more predictable for a counter trend. Another thing I have to worry about is the thundering. It's starting to thunder here. So short right now at 156.60. I'm a little late. Usually I type it in and then I execute on the Discord app almost seconds from my execution, but I forgot. So I was like, what, 7 seconds? I get this question a lot from a lot of newer people that don't know me. They'll ask why I don't show my shares, because I don't want, even though I am trying to get you guys to follow as close as possible with the Discord app, and there's a 20-30 second delay on YouTube, I don't want people to use the same shares I do, because I don't think we all have the same funds, right? It should be a percentage. You should go by percentage, not by, if I use 1,000 shares and you put in 1,000 shares, and yet that's basically 100% of everything you got, you're in big trouble, right? Regardless of the potential. Whereas Jeremy on the Discord app, he will show his shares. He doesn't mind. I'm a little bit more hesitant. I may talk a little bit more about that later. So every time I'm stuck in a trade, I always keep looking from the daily chart to the 15-minute chart to the 5-minute chart to the 1-minute chart, just to make sure everything looks good. It also, for me, psychologically, it paces me. It makes sure I don't overreact. Not that I really do nowadays. It's just a habit that I do. So you see how it created 3 candles here and went down. Now we have 6 candles of green with a nice parabolic move and a little bit of parabolic volume here. So there is a move down. That's obvious. Now the question is how far, right? And usually I always revert back first to any support line that I could draw, like right here. I'm gonna draw one right here at 155.70s, and then the next one would be the 5-minute 90 MA, which is 156. So the 90 MA on the 5-minute chart is closer than my trend line. And Jeremy Newby just sold 100 shares of UAL at 77 cents. These airline stocks are pretty volatile right now. I'm wondering if it's entirely related to coronavirus. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Jeremy, if you're listening, is this related to the coronavirus? You know what's really interesting about the coronavirus? I didn't even know there was a big deal. I still don't entirely think it's a big deal, honestly. There has been several times that in history that I know of, because my dad works overseas in China, and we all know that China covers up the news. But when you're in China, you kind of get the inside scoop, and you have to be careful what you email and what you talk about over the phone, because they monitor everything that goes in and out of the country. So my dad would, email us, and of course he's very he understands what BA earnings tomorrow, maybe. That's true. Thanks, Cricket. But yeah, my dad knows the ins and outs of how to react to certain things. But he did tell us that a building was quarantined. This was a while back, maybe a decade ago, that a building was quarantined. But of course, nobody in the States, nobody in the U.S. knows about it, because they're really good at hiding these things. And many people possibly died, and it won't ever show up on the news. But with the coronavirus, surprisingly, they didn't cover it up, which is kind of a big deal, because they weren't able to hide something like that. It is related, Jeremy? Thanks. Yeah, I figured, because China's preventing everybody. Well, there's a lockdown, right? In the country. So what was I getting at? Right, they weren't able to cover up the coronavirus, and and then there was a stock that was moving big time, and then on my tickers here, I saw the ticker Lake, Lake, and they're known for their hazmat suits, and that really gave me chills, because the last time I made a lot of money on news was the Ebola virus, and I put money in on Lake, and that's when you know things get serious, right? When you see the same stocks that are moving volatilely, is that a word? That are acting volatile during Ebola, and it's acting volatile during the coronavirus. So that kind of got me excited. But of course, I was too late. I'm pretty sure Lake is all over the place right now. But I'm not looking right now. I'm kind of busy with this thing. Alright. Some people like to see my entries. 156.60 was... I'll just put it right here. This is where I'm at right now. And I don't plan on adding, because I don't have as much funds to add to. I'm already in pretty large. Adding as in, if it went the wrong way, I'm not going to add, because I don't have the kind of funds. I would have to get out and then wait for the next stop. But if you look at the daily here, next stop would be up here. I'm 158, in which case I don't want to be doubling and averaging. I just want to get out entirely and come back later. See that volume right there on the 1 minute chart? That is not a good sign. We want the volume to stay down. So going back to the 5 minute 90 MA, we're getting really close, if not touching. So I'm getting out real soon. So I'm going to Discord app right now. I'm gonna say out. WHR at 156 something. Not yet, but soon. And now I'm going to execute it when I see something. See how these spreads really take away my profits, because I'm in at 156.60. But you need to always act calm and freak out later. So here's the VWAP. So from this picture, you kind of get the idea that it can go further. It can go down to here. That is a high possibility. Down to 155. What is this? 155.74. 155.75. Yeah. So don't get. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not suggesting you do anything I do, but if you're one of those people that get out too early, which is me as well, you can use these as conviction. But of course, things may go wrong and at least break even, right? Losing a few dollars is not a big deal. Hey Emilio, he asks, do you trade futures with the same strategy? I don't. In fact, I'm very narrow-minded in that aspect. I'm really just stocks. But I would assume that the strategies are all the same, because this is more of a behavioral thing rather than and patterns rather than news and news relations. So I would assume it's similar. Same with Forex. But I haven't really delved in deep enough to know if it's true. Thoughts on CCL under 46.70? Check on CCL. Oh, to short under 46.70? That is a really pretty chart there, Cricket. Yeah, that is a really... On the 15s, it looks really good. Let me just show y'all what Cricket's talking about. Look at that. Just from a distance, you can see that parabolic move. The volume is kind of sketchy, but if we clean it up with the 15s, that is pretty, isn't it? And then you got somewhat of a yeah, you see there is a parabolic. That is nice. But something like this, you under 46.70. Oh, underneath this support line. That's where Cricket's getting it from. If I were you, I may get in a little bit earlier. Since the spreads are tight, I would get in like... I need to look at the daily for you. Okay, this is where it gets a little tricky, because it's a recovery, but it's also closing this gap right here. So it does have possibility to come back, but you have to worry about this gap up here as well. So I'll play this tight, and I would probably play it on a 1 or 2's chart. So maybe under here, 174. But when you asked me, it was probably over here, right? And yeah, I would probably think 146.70 be a great spot. But let's let it keep riding and see where it goes, because it's getting really close to 47, right? Let's look for a volume at least this high, and then maybe it'll come back down. This is a really good look. This is nice, Cricket. In fact, I'm gonna keep that on my chart as well. Okay. Keeping it at WHR. I need to get out of this eventually, but it's looking okay. Going back to the VWAP because I'm greedy. Now there's a support line here, right? I'm gonna remove it. I don't need to see the VWAP really. All I really need to see is the pattern. So I kind of wanted to break down this 156 area. So I think I'll get out when it hits 155 70s. But of course I need to break down under 156. So I'm just gonna wait on this. Amelia, okay, thanks. Seems to work pretty good in crude oil. Yeah, I would assume so, but crude often gets affected by like news. That's why I'm hesitant to go into the oil. Uh, what are those stocks? Yeah, can't remember right now. But yeah, my dad does that a lot because he's in the oil business. Alejandro, thanks for sharing your trade. You're very welcome, Alejandro. I wish I could share more and not have to worry about hackers and all. Which leads me to, I'm going to create a poll very soon asking if y'all want me to open up a TradeNet account. In which case, I wouldn't worry about showing my trades and the number of trades because I'm going to be limited. I'm thinking about, hold on one second. Let me just hold that thought because I'm getting really close to my number. I just wanted to keep going. Go to the 1 minute chart. We're right here, right at that spot. And the volume's still low. Go back to 5 minute. This is where I gotta be concerned about my greed. Because we're at that spot. See that? See how we can draw that line from here to here? But this is 75, 74, this is 75. 155, 75, 155, 74. And right now our low is 155.87. So you gotta ask yourself, are you being a little too greedy for the 155.75? If it bounces over 156, I'm out. Looking at the level 2 here. I do notice because I have so many programs running on my computer that the level 2s between my trading platform and this platform right here that I'm showing you, the Thinkorswim, is off by a millisecond. And I believe that if I get rid of some of my programs running that... Okay, I'm out. 156.08. And that probably just punked me out, so what was I getting at? Amelia says the oil is gets affected, especially when stock reports come out. Yeah. Amelia asks, my little brother is also in crude. Maybe we should link them for making business. Maybe. My dad's getting old though. Older. He's getting older. Doi Long, CVX is rallying up. Watch out for it. CVX. Oh, this looks like one of those Bollinger play actions. Up, down, up, down. If it's going to go down a little bit, it'll go up a little bit. I like this action. Look at that. This is something my wife used to trade. She wasn't very good at it, but I totally understand how this is actually kind of fun. But it's not my style. Let's go look at the Bollinger Band. There you go. So up, down, up, down. Every time it touches the band, then it's gonna come back up. Sometimes this blue line is the deciding factor if it's gonna break through or not. See how every time it touches, it has an opportunity to break through, and as it rides that band, it's gonna bounce up eventually. It's a nice strategy. I see that, Dewey. Good look right there. Um, I would be concerned a little bit. Oh, actually, it's right here. That is a really good spot, Dewey. Nice find. Not my kind of thing, but I see it. I see the potential. But yeah, I'm gonna. I digress. Back to what I was saying earlier. I'm gonna possibly make a poll to see. I already asked TradeNet. They're all for me because they want subscribers. I mean they want more followers, so they're all okay with me getting the intro account. With 14,000 buying power, I can't hardly say that without stuttering, because that's just quite a cap on how many shares you can buy. So I'll most likely end up just using this right here, which is the small cap counter trend, and just sit and wait. Or I'll probably be trading off my original account, and then whenever I see something good, like just like how Ross Cameron did it, and that's how it really helped him psychologically. That, and he's good with news trades. I know a lot of y'all will, every time I mention him, he gets a lot of hate, and I agree. That's just the world we live in. That cringy world where you gotta sell yourself, sell your soul. And Ross did a really good job being a seller, selling his I'm talking about Ross Cameron, by the way, Warrior Trader. He's a nice guy, I think. I don't know him personally, but he did that Sure Trader $500 challenge, in which we saw him record him trading a news trade to make a lot of money right off the bat. And Dewey, your CVX is doing really good right now. It's moving. I don't quite like how it bounced without the volume, but that's just me. But again, I digress. Yeah, so him having to work on news trades and then use his speed trader or light speed for big trades, and when he sees news, he bounces to his Sure Trader to do the small caps to work on that. Really helps him psychologically, right? So that's pretty much what I'm doing as well. So it's going to psychologically, regardless if I do the intro count, and with my experience, I'm still at a advantage against people that don't have two accounts. If you guys understand what I'm saying. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to do this. I don't know if I'm going to do it streaming. I don't know if I'm going to do it at all. But if I do, I may start off not streaming and just record my screen like I usually did in my very early videos, where I was just doing it for myself. But if I do it streaming, I don't mind showing you my account, because it's just it's just a $350 account. Look at Dewey go. Good job, man, if you're in it. So we'll see. Alejandro says Oliver Velas buy souls. I don't know who that is, but I'm going to laugh with you on that one. I think that's it. I'll look back and cry. Oh, I'm not crying. All right, okay. That was a short scalp, and I got out right. This is why I think there's never anything wrong with scalping. As long as you have, as long as you see the potential and you follow it and you stay green because you're not greedy, it's good. If your potential is like this and you're aiming for that little bit, then you don't give yourself room for a possible reversal, right? In this case, it looks like it may still go down, but what I'm getting at is this is actually in my opinion, a very good lesson for me to remember that never get too greedy because it may just come back and take you out. LOPE shows up on my broader counter trend. Oh. Okay. Hello. What is this? What is I'm looking at the news right now. Grand Canyon education slips after Citron lowers prices. Grand Canyon education? How does that how do they get the ticker LOPE? Okay, well, anyways, this needs to come back, right? I mean, somewhere. Let's look at the 15s. There's some really bad news on this one. Turf says LOPE. Turf on the Discord, and this is why, guys, I really encourage y'all, if you're not in it, to get on it, because the news is there's a lot of good traders and not too many that are announcing crap. Okay, LOPE was a Citron short earlier call where the volume spike occurred. I think for antelope. You mean the the animal? They shorted it because of an animal. The power of animals, right? Okay, newbies just chimed in. There was a short report on it, so they're shorting it. So this is the news. No wonder there's so much volume right here. This must have been the call. And now it's overreacting. Or is it? Look at the spread right now. It was like 30 cents earlier. May have to look further back. Let's look at a weekly chart. Well, I mean, this candle right here, now if I'm going to get specific, I should go daily chart. This candle right here went to a low of 76.48. 76.48. So it's over $6 away. RG Trader just joined MMM, meaning that he joined another trader on that stock. Oh. Turf just I was asking why it was called LOPE, and then I thought he was saying they shorted it because of antelope, but Turf just told me that it's LOPE because the Grand Canyon has antelopes. Oh damn, I'm stupid sometimes. Okay. Okay. Antelope. I mean, without this crazy, ugly doji, I mean, it could come back up to this 83.73, but yeah, or 84.33. That is a possibility, but it looks like it just already retraced itself a bit right there. So that I think I'm I think I'm already too late. Cricket says that CCL actually works so nice. Thanks for recapping it. Had to step out for a few minutes, but it looked perfect. I mean, awesome. CCL. Oh, it did, didn't it? It actually went. Should have kept my eye on it as well, instead of just reviewing it for you. Cricket, I hope you're on the Discord app. That would be awesome to have you report some things. I'm very. You guys will always see. That I mean, if you guys show a call and ask me what my thoughts, even though most of the time, even though it looks perfect, a part of me is already like ingrained with the trade idea. So if it's not on my chart, then a part of me is wondering, there must be something missing in CCL that made it not occur on my chart. But then again, sometimes things get. Let me just show you all what we're talking about right here. He asked me earlier, and this is what happened just a few minutes later. And this was because it was a pretty much perfect look. And I don't know why. I'm just stupid like that. See, it was parabolic right here. And I think it just wasn't strong enough for my trade ideas to it was just making me basically my trade ideas was being a little too snooty, and just overlooks a move like this. Wow. Okay. Yeah, it looks like Lope's not ready. Okay. Oh, so Cricket is on Discord. Well, I mean, as a Stewie Stag. Well, Cricket, next time, let everyone know about CCL. That was a good look. I mean, I'm pretty sure Jeremy would have agreed, and encourage us more. I was just too busy just browsing, I guess. Didn't mean to overlook you. Nice find. I would like to know how you found it. If it was your scanner or if you were just browsing around manually, which is pretty tedious. But I think I'm gonna call it now. It's almost 40 minutes on this live chat. Um, yeah, I'll be posting a poll just to ask y'all how much you guys are interested in me doing this intro account. I am getting a little overwhelmed a bit. So if I do the intro account, of course, I probably just trade every other day. I haven't had enough sleep lately. I'm working with some harder cases. These dogs are getting tougher and tougher. So we'll see what the future holds. But I still really enjoy doing this, being in a community with my traders. It really helps. It's just fun. Just sharing these trading things and knowing that I'm being able to be helpful to not just dogs but to humans alike. With like-minded traders. You're very welcome, Emilio. So I'm gonna get off. Y'all take care. Stay green. Till next time.